ruling on Naira redesign till after presidential poll. Governor Akeredolu pledges administration support for skilled and unskilled professionals in Ondo State. And from the foreign scene, traumatized Syrians lament untold hardship after recent earthquakes. Good evening, and thanks for joining us on the news tonight. I am Jane Aino. Nigerians have been charged to use the Lenten season to desist from election violence, political thuggery, and vote buying. Rather, repent genuinely from their sins and show love by giving alms to the less privileged in society. The charge was given by the Bishop of Ondo's Catholic Diocese, the Most Reverend Jude Arogundade, in his Lenten season message at the Sacred Heart Cathedral in Akure, the Ondo State capital. Joy Paros now completes the story.
Lent season in Orthodox churches begins with the Ash Wednesday, and Christian faithful in various Catholic churches in Akure, the Ondo State capital, today joined the rest of the globe in observing the day. Ash Wednesday comes from the ancient Jewish tradition of penance and fasting, and the practice includes the wearing of ashes on the head. The ashes symbolize the dust from which God made man. In his message to congregants, Bishop of Ondo Catholic Diocese, the Most Reverend Jude Arogundade, said that Ash Wednesday is a solemn reminder of human mortality and the need for reconciliation with God.
Lenten season is that season in which we reenact, we bring back to life again the fasting, the suffering, and death on the cross and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Arogundade, who urged Christians to follow the example of Jesus Christ by sharing in his sufferings and glory, also called for intensive prayer and orderliness to achieve a peaceful and successful general elections.
How I wish that all Nigerians can just seize the opportunity of today to think about our situation. What we should do is to look deeply, to look at character, to look at dignity, to look at sense of nation, to look at leadership, to look for integrity and vote accordingly.
Believers say this period is another opportunity to reflect on themselves and also reconcile with their Maker.
This is time for us to repent. Like human beings, we cannot run away from sins and occasions of sins. But this is a period set aside by the Christendom for us to know that we are dust.
And we use it as our Lenten observer, so that we will repent from the bad ways that we have been doing and change for good.
This fasting of it is depriving ourselves from sin and the likes.
There are three things that are important for this day: fasting, prayer, and almsgiving. And so whatever we fast from, then we must give that alms to the needy.
Lent season starts with an Ash Wednesday and ends on Holy Saturday before Easter, lasting for 40 days. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has distributed sensitive election materials to the 18 local government areas of Ondo State. Acting Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state, Oyekola Oyelami, who took delivery of the materials from the Central Bank of Nigeria for onward distribution to various locations, assured electorate of early distribution to polling units on election day. Osrc Zaid Aribisa reports that no fewer than 4,000 bimodal voter accreditation machines were also distributed for use.
After months of safekeeping in the vault of the Central Bank of Nigeria, sensitive election materials for the 2023 Presidential and National Assembly election are out in open space. It's time for the official handing over to the Ondo State Office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. In attendance to witness the process held at CBN Akure branch are representatives of political parties in the state, as well as officers of the Nigeria Police Force, led by the Commissioner of Police, Oyeyemi Oyediran.
They are briefed, properly briefed, very much. You will see there, they are in high spirit.
Ondo State Acting Resident Electoral Commissioner Oyekola Oyelami said the boxes, which contain ballot papers, result sheets and other forms for the conduct of the elections, will be moved to the 18 INEC local government offices in the state. Oyelami, who fielded questions from political parties, promised that the materials will arrive early at various polling units on election day.
Materials are going to our local government headquarters, and when it gets there, they are now going to batch it PU by word, PU by PU, together with the non-sensitive materials. They do that assignment on Friday in the morning. We move to our various rack centers where our ad hoc staff will pass the night, and then for early, speedy deployment on Saturday.
Chairman of the Interparty Advisory Council, Olaoluwa Adesonya, expressed confidence in the preparation of INEC for Saturday's poll.
We are 100% satisfied, and we commend the INEC for what they have done. We have seen the sign of seriousness in them, and we are ready to follow them and play the game according to the rule.
At INEC's headquarters in the state, no fewer than 4,000 bimodal voter accreditation machines were distributed to various local government officers.
Beavers are for accreditation, and the accreditation is one of the key process in the electoral system. So beavers is to be used for accreditation of prospective voters on election day.
These sensitive materials, as well as the non-sensitive ones, are what the 1,763,636 persons who have PVCs will find across the 3,933 polling units in Ondo State. And officers of the Nigerian Police Force, like this ones, are tasked with ensuring safe arrivals at destinations. From the CBN Akure branch office, Sahid Aribisala, OSRC News.
The Nigerian Army (NA) has approved a list of hotlines to monitor and report any suspicious acts or acts of violence by any group of persons capable of disrupting the peaceful conduct of the 2023 general election, as well as conduct of troops deployed to provide security during the election. According to a statement by Director Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, this is part of the Nigerian Army's move to support the Nigerian police for the successful conduct of free, fair and peaceful elections. Members of the general public were asked to call the phone numbers in their various states, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, to report any security breach during the elections. As part of efforts to ensure the integrity of the February 25, 2023 Presidential and National Assembly elections, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has deployed officers of the Commission to the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory to monitor the polls. The Executive Chairman of the Commission, Abdul Rashid Bawa, charged the operatives to be conscious of the interests of the nation and exhibit a high sense of professionalism in the discharge of their duties. According to him, EFCC operatives have a responsibility to ensure that the election is devoid of financial malpractices, especially inducement of voters. Apart from the teams deployed across the country, the EFCC has also released incidents reporting hotlines for the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT.
You're watching the news. You're watching 7. Take a quick break when we return.
struggles and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
You're welcome back from that break. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook OSRC TV Ondo, and on our YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. And now to the rest of the bulletin. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says Nigerians have a chance to make their voices heard in Saturday's February 25th election. In a video message by the U.S. Embassy and Consulate in Nigeria, Blinken said the people of Nigeria have a chance to make their voice heard and to choose their future. According to the consulate, the short clip, which had Blinken and other senior administration officials speak on the elections, was shared in the hope that Nigerians understand that the United States stands with them as they head to the polls. Blinken stressed that America strongly supports free, fair, and peaceful elections as enshrined in the Constitution, which is one that reflects the will of the people, adding that Nigerian people have a friend and partner in the United States of America. The present administration in Ondo State says it would continue to promote policies and programs that impact the state positively towards the overall well-being of the people. Governor Oluwaritimi Akeredolu at the 2023 Artisans' Day celebration in the state urged other people to take advantage of numerous benefits of the state's entrepreneurship agency to expand their businesses. The governor, who noted the need to promote human capital development through various skills acquisition programs, charged the people to vote all candidates of the All Progressives Congress (APC) at this weekend's general elections. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole completes the story.
It was another time to celebrate artisans in Ondo State as unskilled and skilled professionals gathered at the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome in Akure, for the 2023 Artisans' Day celebration. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu led other top government functionaries, including royal fathers and religious leaders, to mark the occasion. In his address of welcome, the Commissioner for Commerce and Cooperative Services, Mr. Akinwumi Showore, thanked the governor for his passion and love for artisans in the state through the implementation of policies and programs that impact them positively. The special advisor to Governor Akeredolu on union matters and special duties, Mr. Dari Aragbaye, said the roles of artisans to societal development remain relevant. In their messages of goodwill, Secretary to the State Government, Princess Oladuni Odu, Chief Imam of Akure, Akim Yayi Akorede, Special Advisor to Governor Akeredolu on Entrepreneurship Development, Somis Matt Francis, and the Chairman of APC in the state, Mr. Adetime, congratulated the artisans and urged them to be steadfast and remain committed to their goals and aspirations.
The ability for you to succeed and to achieve your dreams in life is not in any other person in our government, but in yourself. montage bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti mọ àbá tẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹ̀rí tẹ̀ lọ. ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ẹ má ta àti aṣáájú.
ẹ̀yin náà mọ̀ pé ayé ń ṣe pàtàkì nípìnlẹ̀ Ondo. ìdí ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó máa ń fẹ́ ìjọba ó fi gbogbo àgbogbo ògbà máa sọ́pọ̀tì níbi rẹ̀.
láìsí òsínú ẹ̀yin gan-an ni láǹpẹ̀ economy of the state.
The president of the Ondo State United Artisans Group, Mr. Daisy Komolafe, thanked Governor Akeredolu for his support and care for artisans in the state.
ìjọba tó wà lóde gómìnà fẹ́ràn wa ìdí tí a bá wọ nílẹ̀ ẹni bàtàbàtàbàtà náà ń gbé wa káàkiri nípa tax àti gbogbo ara ẹ̀dá ọ̀rọ̀ wọn látòkò wọn kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀. ìgbà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ negotiation lọ́kọ́ nígbà tẹ bàbá bàrà káyé wọ́n lè ní kájọ ṣèpàdé owó káàfẹ́ ni wọ́n ṣe fún wa àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, who congratulated the people on the celebration, thanked them for supporting his administration. The governor noted the important roles of the group to the socio-economic growth of the state and the well-being of the people.
There are professional or skill and centers in Iluwani, in statewide, different one. In one way, only Bola Ahmed Tinubu Skill and Center to academic criminology. Even very modern,
Akeredolu, who renewed his commitment not to politicize the state's development, charged the people not to waver in their determination to make the state a better place to live by joining hands with his administration. In an interview, the Commissioner for Commerce and Cooperative Services, Akinwumi Sowore, said the Akeredolu administration is determined to promote enabling environment for the artisans to thrive.
They are strategic to the development of the state. We will always be patronizing all the artisan group in the state, and all that is needed for us to contribute their success, we will always be there as government.
Various artisans groups in Ondo State were part of the celebration. Wahab Bankoli, Osrc News.
Residents of Akoko Southeast and Akoko Southwest have pledged loyalty to the presidential candidate of People's Redemption Party, PRP, Mr. Kola Abiola, son of MKO Abiola, who ran for presidency in 1993, for which the election results were annulled. The party leader with his entourage was received in Oba and Oka Akoko communities to show their readiness to vote the PRP candidate into power come Saturday, the 25th. Omoriola Obeji has details.
Despite a delay in the flight schedule, supporters of People's Redemption Party, PRP, remained resolute at the Akure airport waiting to receive their party presidential candidate, who was on a visit to Ondo State for a town hall meeting. Mr. Kola Abiola, the first child of the renowned politician and philanthropist, late Moshood Abiola MKO, who described the current security architecture of the country as nothing to write home about, promised to do the needful if voted into power. He said PRP, as the oldest party in the country established 44 years ago, has since remained unwavering in its promises to make the country conducive for citizens.
This is the time to make change. This is the time to elect the people that you believe are going there to secure your interest. This is the one opportunity you have for a long time to come. Irrespective of party, go and vote capacity. Go and vote people who can do the job.
From the airport, the team moved to Akoko Southwest and Southeast Federal Constituency to identify with the party's other candidates and culminating in a reception at the palace of the Oloba of Obakoko Nuruddin Adigureye. Also, at the palace of Olubaka of Oka Kingdom, Oba Yusuf Adeleye called on the electorates to go about their peaceful conduct without any rancor.
That we are here in flesh, and I consider it a privilege and honor for this community.
National Secretary of the party, Babatunde Ali, listed 5 principles where the party has an edge over other 17 political parties in Nigeria, to include equity, power of the people, and true federalism.
Number 4, PRP believe in the involvement of government in the highest controlling power of the economy. Number 5, we believe in PRP that anything called imperialism should not dominate our people.
To the party state chairman, Mr. Oluwasesan Oladile, all necessary measures have been put in place to win this election.
I believe with what we are seeing today in Akoko Northeast, Akoko Southeast Federal Constituency, we believe this election, the coming Saturday election, is for PRP. They also used the opportunity to canvass votes for their representatives at the National Assembly, Bukola, Aregbesola, and House of Assembly. Omoriola Hungbiji, Osrc News.
Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has declared Friday, February 24 and March 10 half-work days for public servants in Ondo State. A circular from the Office of the Head of Service says the declaration is to enable members of the workforce travel to their various communities to exercise their civil responsibilities in the Presidential and National Assembly elections. All state government offices are consequently advised to close work by noon on both days. The Supreme Court has adjourned judgment in the new Naira policy suit to March 3, 2023. With the Apex Court's decision, Nigerians, especially consumer and business groups, as well as professional and trade unions, looking up to the Apex Court for a favorable judgment will have to wait. The Supreme Court had on February 8 restrained the federal government from implementing the February 10 deadline for swapping the old Naira notes with the new ones, but Central Bank of Nigeria refused to shift the deadline. The injunction was sequel to a suit filed by Zamfara, Kogi, and Kaduna state governments against the Attorney General of the Federation on February 3. Other states including Lagos, Ondo, Ekiti, Kano, Sokoto, Ogun, and Cross River have also joined the suit as a co-plaintiffs. And on foreign scene, Syrians who had spent years fleeing a civil war are now trying to survive. Many who have lost their homes from the earthquakes have nowhere to live, and aid has been slow to arrive. Akintunde Akinshomola reports.
These people are trying to find whatever is left in their destroyed homes. This rubble was once Abdulrazak Hassan's house. How he feels he may even lose these if he fails to find the title.
No one helped us. No diggers, excavators, or machines. Bodies stayed under the rubble for days. We lost so much. Now I have to find the title deed to prove this was my home.
Shindea, with a population of 18,000 people, was the worst hit town in northwest Syria from 2 earthquakes which struck earlier this month. The devastation is absolute. More than 1,000 buildings here have either collapsed or been heavily damaged. Hundreds of people died and thousands were injured. The survivors are now trying to cope in these isolated rebel-held areas that can only rely on international aid. Many Syrians here have served only one meal a day and many receive even less. They say they don't receive enough international aid and it's poorly organized. Leila Suleiman has lost dozens of relatives and friends. She says her family has been displaced several times.
It was rainy and cold. After staying 8 days on the street, we got this tent, but it's not for winter, it's tiny. Kids can't sleep during the night because of the cold. I want nothing, just a proper tent for my kids.
The impact of the earthquake left many families shattered here. Their faces bear the weight of loss and devastation. Most Syrians here have spent years running away from a prolonged war. Their only dream, a normal life.
We fear that the earthquake will hit again any time. We just set up a tent here and are living in it. Nowhere is safe now.
People here say most lives were lost due to lack of modern rescue equipment, and now an absence of aid, food and shelter is worsening their misery. Akintunde Akinshimola, Osrc News.
In our sports, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria are about taking on Egypt's Young Pharaohs in their second AFCON Under-20 match at the Cairo International Stadium. The match is well into the second half with neither teams yet to score. Nigeria lost their first match to Senegal by a lone goal, while Egypt were forced to a goalless draw by Mozambique.
And credit as well to Aminu, the 18-year-old, with the corner kick. And would you believe it? Omar Fayed, who's been a colossal tower of strength in the air, beaten to the header on that occasion. And now, panic stations for the host Egypt.
And Nigeria just scored against Egypt. Congratulations to us. And now to end the news at 7, let's take a quick look at the top stories. The Independent National Electoral Commission has distributed sensitive materials to the council areas in Ondo State ahead of Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections. The Supreme Court adjourned ruling on the Naira redesign till after the 3rd of March 2023. We also mentioned to you that Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has restated his administration's support for skilled and unskilled professionals to thrive in Ondo State. And from the foreign scene, aftermath of recent earthquakes that claimed tens of thousands of lives, Syrians have lamented the untold hardship they are experiencing. And that's the size of our news tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Good evening.